Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this week's video we're going to be upcycling this Dutch dresser.
At the end of this video we will announce the winner of our giveaway, so make sure you stay tuned till the end. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is our new upcycle project. We picked it up for free from Facebook Marketplace. It's a Dutch dresser. Our plan is to leave this bit and the top of the unit wood, and then we're going to paint all the outsides. First, what we're going to do is going to give it a good clean and get rid of the hardware, and the sanding we're going to do outside.
This is an absolute nightmare. All the screws are really badly damaged and they're really old. There's literally no kind of groove to put the screwdriver in. They're just like, it looks like a nail now. So I've had to snap one off there, so then I'm going to get that off. And then these ones, I just can't. I've got one screw out of this one here and that's it. Absolute nightmare. Hey.
A few hours later, but we managed. Okay, that's the whole unit clean. All the handles and hardware are off. So it's time to take it downstairs and crack on with the sanding.
We're going to be using a little electric sander just to do the top, and then we'll scuff sand everything else. But yeah, we're going to take it downstairs now, which is a bit of a ball ache because we've got to go down 2 flights of stairs and back up again, but it is what it is. Okay guys, so we finished all the sanding yesterday. We scuff sand the whole unit and we sanded the stain off the top here and the top up here because we're going to leave them like a natural wood colour. I filled some holes where all the screws were because we've took off the doors, so we're going to leave them off. So I filled all the holes with polyfiller. I need to just quickly sand them down and then we can start priming. And as always, we're going to be using Zinsser primer. This is the stuff you want to be using. We'll leave links to all the products in the description below, so if you want to buy any, go and check it out. Anyway, enough talking, let's get started. Guys, I'm just going to put the top to one side and just concentrate on the bottom. Okay guys, I've just finished doing the primer. My camera ran out of battery, so I'm on my phone now. Typical, always happens. I'll show it to you quickly. So there it is. It's looking a bit messy, but as always, when you do a coat of primer, it does look messy. As soon as we get the first and second coat on, it will start looking good. So I'm gonna let that dry for around an hour, 2 hours, and then I'll do the first coat and obviously sand it in between. Okay guys, so the primer's been drying for about an hour now. It's dry. I'm going to give everything a quick sand with a 220 sanding sponge, and then we can start with the first coat. We're going to be using French Chic, the Lazy range, and it's called Wolf Whistle. It's like a whitey grey colour. We'll leave a link in the description. Yeah, let's go. Okay, we're ready for painting now. What I was going to say as well, the legs and the drawers we were going to paint, but we're actually going to sand them down and leave them the same colour as the top. Anyway, let's go. I'm just going to lay it on its back. It might be easier to paint that way. Get right into it. It's not a good idea putting that there. I'll end up knocking it over. Right, I'm going to flip it back over. Right, that is the first coat done. It still looks an absolute mess, but second and third coat is where it all turns around.
Alright, so Dean prepped the entire unit this morning and gave it his first coat of wolf's whistle. So I'm going to sand it down lightly now with the 220 grit sanding sponge, and then I'm going to put on the second coat. The inside is what I'm dreading the most. So I'm going to start there and then go all around. Alright guys, it's like 30 degrees outside. We've been working all day and now painting this. It's absolutely roasting in the flat, so it's a bit of a struggle. Alright guys, second coat done. We're going to leave this dry and then crack on with coat number 3.
Okay guys, so we were going to paint these drawers, but I actually sanded this one down by hand last night and it looks pretty nice. So we're actually going to sand the other one down. This is what it looks like before and after. So we're going to take it downstairs and sand that. And also, with the top of the dresser here, we were going to paint all of that, including the shelves, but we're going to sand the shelves down as well and leave them like a natural wood colour. So we're going to go downstairs and get that done now. We'll see you out there.
Okay, so we sanded most of it off with the electric sander, but the few corners that we couldn't reach, we have to do that by hand, so let's get to it. Okay, so we put the bottom of the dresser to one side. We're going to focus on the top now. So this has all been sanded down and I'm going to tape it all up now and then we can start with the primer. Sanding this down was a bit of a nightmare. It was difficult to get in the corners, but after half an hour we made it. So let's tape it all up and let's go. Alright, so you always think like, oh, tape it up, do it in like 5 to 10 minutes, but it's always a lot more work trying to get it straight and not in the corners, and I think I've got it all covered. I'm gonna have a little double check, see if everything is covered, and then crack on with the priming. Alright, as always, Bins into Primer, our go-to product. Let's go. Just thinking, Dean always leaves the fiddly bits to me. Do you reckon he's doing it on purpose? I'm starting to think so. Let me know what you guys think. Alright guys, that's it. Priming done, finally. It took me a bit longer than I thought it was, but that's always with everything. So we're going to let this dry now for a few hours and then we'll get back to you with the first coat of paint. Alright, it's all been drying for a few hours, so it's time to sand it down with a 220 grit sanding sponge and then time for the first coat of paint. Alright, that's coat number 1 done. Let that dry for an hour or two and then crack on with the second coat.
Okay guys, we were going to take the doors off and leave them off, but it doesn't look right, so I'm going to sand these down. The plan is to sand all the frame down to bare wood and then we're going to paint these white to match the dresser. Anyway, I'm going to take these outside and get sanding.
Okay, so the top of the unit has had 3 coats of paint now. It's looking really good. I gave it a light rub down with the 220 grit sanding sponge and now it's time for its first coat of Polyvine. And as always, our go-to is Polyvine Decorator's Varnish. It's that flat, so it gives like a nice matte finish. We're going to give it 2 coats in total and I'm going to start with the first coat now. Okay, that's the first coat on the top of the unit done. I'm gonna make a quick switch and put this somewhere and then grab the bottom of the unit so we can do that coat. First coat, Polyvine, bottom unit. By the way, the paint that we're using does have a built-in primer and sealer in, but we always prefer, especially like the outside and on the insides, the most used bits, to give that extra bit of protection. So we're going to give the outsides 2 coats of polyvine, and then we'll do the shelves on the inside. We give that 1 coat of polyvine. As always, check out the description because we link every product that we've used in there, so if you want to try them out, it's an easy way for you to get them. Alright guys, that's the first coat of polyvine done on the entire unit. I'm gonna let that dry now, and then probably tomorrow we'll crack on with the second coat. So yeah, we're nearly there. All we have to do is paint the doors because we were gonna leave them out, but Dean sanded them down this morning. We're gonna give it a coat of paint tomorrow. It's basically putting all the hardware back on, get rid of all the tape, and time for the end result. I can't wait. Alright, we'll see you guys later.
Okay guys, so we're going to start doing the doors now. I'm going to tape all the wood up with frog tape, and then we can start painting. I don't even think I'm going to primer. I'm just going to paint, do about 3 coats of paint on it and a top coat. And one thing I do want to say as well is we've left some of the old varnish in all the grooves all over the dresser. We think it gives it kind of like a rustic feel, so we're going to leave that. We quite like it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to tape up now with frog tape, and then we can start painting. Guys, so we finished the doors. Obviously we haven't waxed them yet because we have decided we're not going to use them. We put them on to see how they looked, and we prefer them off, to be honest. So we did all that work for nothing, but sometimes that happens. Anyway, we've got a few more bits to do, and then we'll show you the final results. Okay guys, so that's all the painting and polyvining done now. But we're going to start waxing now. Chantal's going to wax the front of the drawers, and I'm going to do the top of the unit. We're going to be using Frenchie's Defining Wax. It's like a grey colour. We want it to give it like a rustic look. So yeah, we're going to get started now. We're going to be using all-purpose cloth. Just use any lint-free cloth when you're doing this. Rub a small amount on and then rub the excess off. Let's go. One thing I would say if you're doing this as well is wear gloves. We normally do, but we've run out, so we're going to have to make do. When you're doing this as well, guys, always rub it with the wood grain.
Okay, so we're going to tape up the top of the unit because we don't want the wax to touch the paint, and after we've done that, it's time to wax all of the top.
Okay guys, before we show you the end results, it is time for the giveaway. We have put everybody's name into one of my hats, and now Chantal is going to pick a winner. Good luck everybody, let's go.
Excited! Alright guys, the winner is Ashley McDowell.
Congratulations, you have won the giveaway.
Congratulations, Ashley. We'll leave our email in the link below, so please give us an email and we sort out shipment to you.
Anyway guys, back to the end results now. Thanks for watching, we really appreciate it. Do us a favour, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, you know the score, and as always, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Dun 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 dun.